Welcome back, students, to the video lecture in power system planning for BTech 6th semester. In the previous video lectures, we are studying about demand side planning, which is our unit number 5 according to Rajasthan Technical University syllabus. Here is a Google Classroom code. If you wanted to join my Google Classroom, my name, email ID and WhatsApp is given as shown in the presentation. So you can contact me for any query related to any topic and joining the Google Classroom. In demand side planning, we have covered computer aided power system planning, where we have seen three of the important softwares, that is VAS 4, TGES version 9 and IS Plan version 4, which is commonly used in India. Now today we will discuss about wheeling and greenhouse effect. So moving to the topic called as wheeling, this is an important topic and can be asked in your exams. So wheeling refers to transfer of power from one utility area to another over transmission and distribution lines, meaning the transfer of power or transmitting power from one area to another area. So it is a kind of a two area load flow. So here one utility buy a block of energy and one utility sells the block of energy. Like if PGCIL operates interstate line, as you know, PGCIL is Power Grid Corporation of India Limited, which is a central power transmission corporation, and it operates interstate lines. So interstate transmission lines which are at extra high voltage level, ultra high voltage level, also at 220 kV levels, PGCIL operate the interstate lines. So PGCIL lines transfer these blocks of energy. While transferring the block of energy from the buyer to the seller, PGCIL collects some charges which are called as wheeling charges. Okay, so wheeling refers to transfer of power from one utility area to another utility area over transmission or distribution lines. As you can see here, one formula for generation, which is equal to PL plus PEX plus PR. Here PL is the line losses which are always be there, and in our Indian power system we are approximately having 21% power transmission losses according to the latest CEA report as on March 2020. Now PEX is the exchanged power, so and PR is the load power. So whatever the load of the area, the transferred load will be PR towards load of the area. Then there will be line losses which is equal to PL, and some of the power is going to be exchanged with some of the nearby area. So if PEX is the exchange power or the power which is going to be sell, let a power system A be requested to sell a block of PEX megawatt. As you can see here, this PEX megawatt, the power which is going to be transferred or exchanged in megawatt for some hours. So this is very important, that the power exchanged will be for some HRs and at a price of B rupees. Okay, so जब भी एनर्जी को एक एरिया या एक यूटिलिटी is selling and another utility is buying, so there will be a price decided for which amount the PEX megawatt of block of energy is transferred for HRs. So when PEX multiplied by H hours, it will become megawatt hour, which gives you the block of energy. So this much block of energy at B rupees will be transferred. So average selling price here is C, which is equal to B divided by PEX multiplied by H. So it will gives you the value of C as in rupees per megawatt hour. So how much rupees will be required to sell 1 megawatt hour or a unit block of energy. Here is the important consideration is that the sell the block of energy if the average incremental cost is less than the sale price. So it is very important, if जो भी एनर्जी जो भी ब्लॉक ऑफ एनर्जी जिसको कि बेचा जाएगा, if the average incremental cost means the incremental cost of fuel, okay, or the production of energy, if it is less than the sale price, then only the energy will be transferred, else there will be loss in the economy of the utility. So moving to the next topic, which is greenhouse effect. So as you can see in this figure, our mother earth, and shown by the grassy green lands and blue water over there, we have sky, or our atmosphere over the earth that has an envelope on the earth in which the life exists. Above that, here we have empty space, vacuum. As you can see in this figure, while the sun rays come to the earth, there is electromagnetic spectrum from the sun, which you can see in this figure here down below. So here you can see that visible light is only a very small part of that electromagnetic spectrum. Also there is some short wavelengths and some longer wavelengths, which are represented by here as infrared, microwave and radio waves. These waves also come through our atmosphere to the surface of the earth. As the sunlight moves from sun to earth, which takes an approximately of 8 minutes and 13 seconds to reach the earth's surface. So it is combined, it takes all the electromagnetic spectrum to the earth, while some of the part of the electromagnetic spectrum like ultraviolet gets absorbed by our ozone layer, or some of the long wavelength, some of the shorter wavelengths come to the earth. Then you can see when the sunlight is coming, the short wavelengths, after passing through the atmosphere or absorbed into the atmosphere, they are absorbed by the earth's surface. While the longer wavelengths, what happens to longer wavelengths? They are absorbed and they are reflected back when sun is not there. So the longer wavelengths, basically the infrared, which is absorbed by the earth's surface or the things over the earth's surface, and it is reflected back when there is a night time. So these reflections are get trapped into the atmosphere if there is excess CO2 or other gases that keeps our environment warm. But this is a, while I am saying excess CO2, because I will move to the human made greenhouse effect. Basically greenhouse effect is not a bad phenomena. It is very important on earth for the existence of life, because if sun will be not there during the night time, then on earth the human existence is not possible, because it will get very colder during the night. But these infrared waves that gets trapped into the atmosphere due to CO2 makes the earth warm. So the percentage contribution of greenhouse components. Before that, I will show some of the Earth's energy budget. As incoming solar energy is 100%, some of that, the around 51% is absorbed by land and ocean. Some are reflected back, around 30% are reflected from the Earth's surface, clouds and atmosphere towards the space. Some of them is absorbed, around 26% by atmosphere, and from that there is a total reflection, 64% radiated to the space from clouds and atmosphere, and 6% directly radiated to the space from Earth. This animation shows the greenhouse effect. Like you can see, as sun rays are coming, so during night time the Earth is radiating these long wavelengths or infrared rays. Some of the shorter wavelengths get absorbed actually into the Earth's surface, while the infrared rays shown by red lines are coming back to the Earth and makes the Earth warmer. There is a difference between due to the human influence on the greenhouse effect. So we will see what is the difference when the CO2 level or some of the gases that are affecting these greenhouse effect. So what will happen? Let's see. These are the percentage contribution of the gases, water vapor, methane and ozone to the greenhouse. So water vapors contribute to 36 to 70%, means to make our Earth's atmosphere warm, water vapors are very important. Carbon dioxide, really very important, methane and ozone. So they are having different percentage for making our greenhouse. Nitrogen dioxide and CFCs also contribute as greenhouse gases. So CFCs, the chlorofluorocarbons, nitrogen dioxide and CO2, also methane. If the percentage of these gases increases in our atmosphere, then the greenhouse effect, which is important for human existence, will become worse, or the Earth will not be warm, it will become hot. So in this figure you can see natural greenhouse effect is very important, as you can see greenhouse gases CO2, N2O, CH4, that is methane, water vapors, due to which some of the heat gets trapped into the atmosphere and makes our Earth warm. But while if there is more greenhouse gases, means more CO2, more methane, more N2O, chlorofluorocarbons, then more heat which is radiated by the Earth's surface gets trapped into the Earth atmosphere, and therefore there will be a huge temperature rises in the atmosphere. So because of these temperature rise, there will be some adverse effect like rising of Earth surface temperature, which is also called as global warming. तो Earth का temperature बढ़ने लगेगा. कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का लेवल इंक्रीज होने की वजह से बायोलॉजिकल सिस्टम में देयर विल बी disturbances, okay, or there will be a effect on the biological system due to CO2, increase of CO2. So carbon footprint must be less, which is a required condition for our power plants also. Polar ice caps will melt, and while you can see if glaciers melt, the melt will go to the sea and the level of the seas will rise. Increased probability and intensity of droughts and heat waves. Extreme weather events will occur on the Earth's surface like hurricane, tsunami, and diseases can be, there will be spread of diseases like acidification of the oceans and other effects. So rising of our temperature is very dangerous due to increasing level of these greenhouse gases or greenhouse components, which have an adverse effect of rising our temperature, global warming, acidification of oceans, rising sea levels, and etc. So here you